today I'm going to go talk to a certain famous place. A guy named Harmon Dobson had a dream about creating a two-handed burger. And this is kind of probably how it was. Jim, hand me that burger over there. Where's it from? Burger King. Yeah, give me the burger. That's kind of my dramatic interpretation of Harmon Dobson. I'm going to show you this burger fits only in one hand. Hold this for me. They didn't have a video recorder at the time, but we're going to pretend like they did. Now I'm going to take a bite. With one hand. That's not my dream. Jim, hand me that, was that a grilled cheese sandwich? Yeah, that's fine. It has some burger on it, right? Okay. Give me that grilled cheese sandwich with a burger patty. And over there, give me that hamburger that you gave me. Okay. You put them together, and it fits in both hands. See? Sally, stop talking on the phone. That's my dream. Lower the camera about like this. I want a burger that will fit in both your hands. And we'll call it Whataburger. Now begin drawing on the chalkboard.
It's going to be end of breakfast, and I don't like it. So let's keep this one.
Oh, you're going to... Okay.
So you don't lose it, yeah. Because it's going to be end of breakfast, so...
And look, my shirt's the same color. It's an appropriate shirt.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Good, sweetheart. Free southern bacon with the fried, yeah.
And let me see the rip out right here. Oh, this is for the biscuit? Yeah. You can get the biscuit later.
Yeah, because it's going to be the end of breakfast. And
okay. So what it is, it's a free southern bacon double burger. And you do have to purchase a French fry and a drink, which comes to, according to Linda, about $5. Well, there's a few things going on in my life I'm kind of keeping hush-hush, so... I am going to try out their bacon burger, though. But I am looking to make extra money on the side. But anyway, here they are. I don't know how long they've been here, but they're a well-known establishment. One of the most popular burgers in Texas. And Nolan O'Ryan actually did some of their commercials. He was one of the greatest pitchers of all time on the Texas Rangers. He was a Whataburger fan. And Harmon Dobson had a dream to make a two-handed hamburger. Well, I told her in the interview, I told her about Harmon Dobson. It seemed interesting. Okay. Gotta make a deposit. You're walking in a parking lot, you see one of these things, you're like, what in the world? It's actually a rope. Yeah, you gotta be careful because those moccasins are deadly. Same with the rattlesnakes too. It's actually just a rope though, so it's kind of crazy about it. I was walking this way and I was like, what in the world? Alright, so I got my 12 swipes for the point of sale, so I avoid my maintenance fee. The funny thing is you have to kind of put the banana on the corner because you're paying 6 cents for simply just one banana. You can kind of see it in here. It's to basically make $12. I know it sounds crazy, but that's how I do it. See that it has one banana. So I swipe it 12 times, using each one at about 6 cents. So I'm paying for an expensive banana here. Each swipe averages about 6 cents or so. So 12 swipes times 6. That's well, if there's 11 swipes, it'd be 66. So, 67, 68, 69, 70, I don't know, 72 cents or something for a banana, which is kind of high. Or something like that. Not all the swipes were even, because the balancer thing is not there. So some are like 10 cents, and some are like, you can maybe get it at like 5 cents if you're lucky, if you put the banana at the right angle. That way I avoid the $12 maintenance fee. And I'm only spending 70 something cents and making $12. It's hard to describe. But if you don't do it, then you lose $12. So what it is like this, okay? So my bank will charge a $12 maintenance fee if I either have direct deposit come. Okay, it's kind of hard to describe. Okay, my bank will charge you a $12 maintenance fee unless you do one or the other. If you have a direct deposit come in, I think of at least $100 once a month. I could be wrong about that. I have to check on the amount, but as long as the direct deposit's coming in, you're not charged a maintenance fee at all. If the direct deposit doesn't go in, times are hard, then you have to do 12 swipes. This is 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And each swipe is about 6 cents or so for one banana. I would get more bananas. It's just I buy bananas and I've got enough bananas, so I just did one banana. But if you angle it at the right, and I got in trouble at Kroger for doing that because she was like, "You're angling the banana wrong on the counter." It's not really a counter. It's a weigher, so it weighs whatever produce you put on it. And it was like on the edge, but I'm also paying for the banana 12 times with 6 cents. She didn't understand that. She was like, what are you, a nut? It's like, no, I'm avoiding a $12 maintenance fee. You know, the bank, First Convenience Bank? Anyway, that's how I do it. So I saved $12. It's just kind of a weird thing. You're standing there for a while and you're just buying the same banana. Now, you could buy separate bananas. You could get a whole thing of bananas and just buy each banana one at a time, as long as it's 12 bananas. Now, another thing you could do is you can only do like 4 swipes, then come back another day and do another 4 swipes. And, you know, I do that but always forget, so I just do it all at once. Meaning I could go in one day and do 4 swipes, and then go in another day and do 4 swipes, and then go in another day and do 4 swipes. That'd be 12. You see what I'm saying? Okay, so yeah, so it would cost me, if it was 6 cents per swipe, it would be 72 cents for the banana. I guess you could show them all your receipts and say, hey, I'm trying to avoid a maintenance fee. It's probably not that big of a deal. It works with the bank. So anyway, I gotta head back. All right, this is like a golf course right on the edge of the north side. Or on the other side. I don't even know the name of the golf course, but it's right by a car wash place right down here. And there's a skyline, Fort Worth. So the White Law Firm car wreck. I'm sorry, the Wallhite. I look like the word white. Sorry. It wasn't the White Law Firm. It's the Will Hite Law Firm. It just looked like the word white. Sorry about that. Could you imagine a white law firm? Well, things have gotten out of hand, and there's a lot of reverse discrimination. So you got to get yourself a lawyer that represents you as a majority. It can get tough. Job hunting. There's Discount Motors. Discount Motors. I was going to call it Discount Modders. Where does that come from? Misspeaking. It's early in the morning. I haven't had anything to eat. I was going to get a burger, but I'm saving it for later. Person's got an umbrella to protect them from the elements. There's the car wash. A $5 car wash for free vacuum. Right there. I haven't had a car wash in quite a bit of time. It's quite the luxury to run through a car wash. If you're doing that, times are good. You know what I mean? At least you use the ones with the change, where you use the change for the car wash. Where you kind of have to stand up and use the brush, and it's fun to have to walk around the car and clean it, but it's also fun to just ride through one of the car washes and hope they get everything, and then you have to do the vacuum yourself. They don't have robots to do vacuums yet. But you better get everything out of the car that you don't want vacuumed up once they get the robot vacuum people. Well, there won't be people, they'll be robot vacuum. They'll probably get it. It'll be a robot vacuum that vacuums your car. It has like these little laser sensors and a light, you know, and it's sitting there vacuuming your car. Just make sure you get everything, especially your checkbook and things like that, because it'll vacuum it up. At least it recognizes it, you know. You can leave a little message on your phone. I found an item in your car. That's how the robot voice would sound. We found a personal belonging in your car. You may want to return to the car and pick it up so it doesn't accidentally get vacuumed up. This is the robot speaking. Non-stop stand-up. There's the Trinity. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's the Trinity River. All of a sudden, someone rings in. That's the Trinity River. I told you not to quote me. What does that word really mean? Like, when you use it, you're not using it purely, you know, it's not pure form. Don't quote me on that. We love Jesus. We love Fort Worth. That's the new Paradox Church. Now, that's a name for a church. Paradox Church. It's an interesting concept. You know, it's amazing when you're using Indeed. You get hit with Indeed jobs, especially these commission jobs, you know, to sell solar. You get probably like maybe 10 of them. There's a shawarma place. You get like 10 of them a day, maybe 15 different ones you got to deal with a day. And, you know, that may be the amount of applications that you have to, but all of those, like 15 of them or 10 of them are all commission based, you know, just tough. Sorry about the Dutch angle. I'm eating a 72-cent banana. Really, it's swiped a couple times as 10 cents, so it's more like a $1 banana. Those are the ones you buy at 7-Eleven. A banana used to be 25 cents. Like 23 cents, not very long ago, too. These puppies are ringing up. Like 17 cents per banana. Or something like that. 10 cents a banana. Got my little trash bag. Brought to you by Whataburger. Harmon Dobson, the man that dreamed up the two-handed hamburger. My God will meet all your needs. Philippians 4:19. So I pulled up the app and I found another deal that actually they just give you free watermelon. So we're gonna redeem it at the window. Your order made right and handed to you right on time. Whataburger. And don't forget about the banana shake. It's a banana pudding shake to be exact. It is limited time. They're from Maryland. Hello.
Hi, welcome to Whataburger. How can I help?
Yeah, how are you doing? I pulled up the app and it said I could redeem a watermill.
A watermeal?
Yeah, it says it on my app.
Like the purchase of a medium Whataburger?
No, it just says redeem a watermill because I hadn't signed in a long time, so I signed in and it says redeem it. So I'll show you at the window.
Okay, you can show me at the window.
All right, thanks. Appreciate it. Yeah, it just says redeem. they can dig in the kind of the roots of the tree to find the worms. They find a lot of stuff, worms and ants and all kinds of stuff all day long. It's a very good tree right there. He's coming up to the car though, he's a brave one. What if I had a BB gun to be over with? No, I just, whoops. There he is. Okay, so apparently this is how it works. You just go and you redeem it, and if you haven't been in the app for a while, just sign back in the app and they'll actually give you a Whataburger. So apparently I just signed back in the app. It said redeem a Whataburger on us. Then I hit the button, and then there's another button at the bottom. You have to touch it twice, and then it scans a QR, and they scan the QR. The other one shows a barcode. Don't use the barcode one. Or it shows, really what it shows is the camera making this little line going through it to scan a barcode. They want the QR one, so you hit it again. It says redeem at restaurant, and then you hit it again, and then it pulls up. That's a free water meal. So here's the free Whataburger. This is what it looks like. Oops, I didn't cut it all the way. There we go. Pushing that down there. Let's see. Nope. Try it again. Well, it only fits with one hand if you cut it in half, but it's supposed to fit with two hands. And then there's... Do you like tomatoes?
Yes.
Oh, you like tomatoes?
It's okay.
As long as you open the app, they should redeem it if you haven't used it in a while.
No?
Yeah, I asked for ketchup, but she didn't give me spicy. But she did give me just regular ketchup.
That's fine. Grateful for
that. One thing that's good... Here, open with those ketchup and teach them how to do this.
No. Okay.
Sorry. You dip the Whataburger in the ketchup thing. That's what the ketchup looks like. Oh, sorry about that.
It's okay. We're fine. Thank you.
Where is the french fries?
Thank you, Lord, for the food.
Oh, thank you, Lord, for the food. And you can thank the Lord for food if it's in your mouth, too, and you forget. It still counts as long as you don't swallow before you say thank you. But if you do, you can ask for forgiveness and then stop and pray. But I'm actually a believer that you should pray over your fast food.
So how much was it? So you got the burger?
It was $0.00. It's got the pickles, the lettuce, the tomato. You can see part of the tomato sticking out there. And Kitty seems interested too. Kitty, would you like a bite? Do you want to try some, Kitty? Try a little bit? I think you have to, like, for Kitty, what you do for Kitty is you take it out like this. And then you just kind of try it like that. Do you want to try a little bit? Here, let's bring it over to your plate. Come on, Kitty. Let's see if Kitty likes Whataburger. Here we go, Kitty. Here's some burger. Give it a try. It's Whataburger. You're turning down Whataburger? Are you totally insane? We'll probably get around to it. It's not like you, Kitty. What's going on? Well, I don't know. Maybe Kitty's not. Oh, and also, when you redeem it, you get what this size drink. It's a heck of a redemption. All right. What's interesting about Edmund is there's another cat that looks exactly like Edmund, only he's thinner, and it must be his relative or possibly his son or daughter if Edmund's a father kitty. It's a tuxedo cat that's out there, but there must be also a mama cat, which is probably Edmund's lover. So he'll look out all day long if he can. He also likes to go over to that window. He'll go to that window and look outside. He's smelling the brown towel, which sometimes I use to mop up stuff. Hey, Kitty, don't smell that. This is kind of my temporary mop right here. All right, Kitty. All right, 184,944 miles. It does say 100, but that's actually not correct. The real temperature is 103. So usually that's correct, but it's off by 3. And man, it is a scorcher. It's July 25th, 2023. I'm gonna turn it this way. I know it's not the perfect angle, but welcome to the Please Subscribe show. And man, it's a hot one. 103 degrees Fahrenheit in Texas today. And we're headed to DFW. It's gonna be a hot one. I didn't think it was gonna get this hot, but yes, it's super hot. So why it's not measuring correctly, I don't understand. It says 100 on the car, but I just checked the weather right now. It's 103. So it's dangerously hot. This has been one of the hottest summers ever. Kind of reminds me of that movie, Summer of Sam, Spike Lee did. About the killer known as Son of Sam in New York, Berkowitz. It's a crazy one. Anyway, it's 100 degrees Fahrenheit. My goodness. Supposedly Berkowitz was part of a thing called the Process Church. It was done by a group of people. That's a theory, though. It's a conspiracy theory, but most people think that he was the one that did it. At least he admitted to it. But a lot of people actually did admit to being the Son of Sam, and they were all fakes. But the reason they got Berkowitz was because of a parking ticket, and his car was in the vicinity of one of the murders. They let it right to him because he fit the description of someone else. Well, he fit the description of one of the people that did it. Yep, it just went up to 101. That'll go up to 103 temperature. It's off by a couple of digits. Earlier that it was 100 degrees. If you look this way right here, it's 106. And that's from driving too. I've been driving the entire time. So it actually went up by 6 degrees Fahrenheit from the opening of the slate, or the intro. Went up to 107 just now. And that's what they call kind of like a wind chill kind of thing. Although it's not a wind chill, it's a heat chill. It's not even a heat chill, it's a... I don't know what to call it, but it means that it probably feels like 106, or it is 106. But according to Google, it's 103. Now, I've studied geoscience and earth science, and the hottest time of the day is around between 4 to 6 p.m. because the actual earth, like an oven, takes time to heat up. The ground does. So I checked Google Maps, or actually, I'm sorry, I checked Google, and it's actually 104 degrees Fahrenheit, according to Google. So it went up 1 degree just now because the time changes. So at 3 o'clock, it'll be 104, which is what it is, 104 Fahrenheit. That can increase in the next couple hours. So it possibly could reach a total of 105 before sunset begins. We'll have to find out, though. Usually it starts to cool as the sun sets. It all has to do with the sun when it comes to temperature, which is pretty much the reason why we exist, because of our relationship between the distance of the sun and the earth. Or it has to do with the reason why we are alive today is because, well, other than, of course, God being the creator, but because of the relationship between the earth and the sun. That distance, which I believe is 330, or it's 33 million miles distance, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to double check that. But because of that distance and because of water, life was able to hatch, you could say, because of that distance, because of the distance of the sun. Sorry about that, I was wrong about the distance. It's 94 million miles away. I was actually way wrong, not 33. It's 94 million miles away. I was thinking of another planet. Sorry about that. It's so hot, I started thinking about Venus and Mars. Well, Mars is actually further away. Venus and Mercury, sorry. Mercury is closest to the sun. Venus is second place. I was probably thinking of Venus. We're 94 miles. I'm sorry. Let me readjust what I'm saying. That's the post office. We're 94 million miles from the sun. That's the reason why Earth is here, and well, that's the reason why life is here. Earth is here, and because of God. First, God. God is the reason why God created it all. But we're 94 million miles from the sun. And because of that distance and the ratio, or I guess you could say, because of the distance of the 94 million miles, and because we're the proximity to the sun, then we're able to sustain life. And because of water too. And then God created all this. He created that distance, and He created everything. So it's part of His creation, is really what I'm saying. This is like kind of an entrance or exit to Fort Worth. And this gentleman's been here for at least a few months or so, a few weeks, almost every time I come back through this way. There used to be some apartments over there which got closed down during coronavirus. So there were apartments that were right over there, and they're all closed down due to COVID-19. There is no law against kindness. It is one hot mess in Texas right now. Very hot. The first thing I did when I arrived at Long Beach, it was a long drive, it was about a 3-day drive coming from Denton, Texas,
then to Albuquerque. Then I took the main highway all the way west, right into Long Beach, as I drove right up to the beach and got out of my car. I had a little Camaro my sister had lent me. It was on lease, so I was only there until she told me I couldn't use it anymore. Because without a car in LA, no one walks in LA. But I went over to the beach and looked out at the Pacific Ocean for a good 30 minutes to an hour. And then finally I went to my apartment complex in North Atlantic called the Paradise Gardens. And I checked in there and got my room, my apartment, I guess you call it an apartment. It's like a studio place with a Murphy bed. The Murphy bed is what comes down from the wall. It's got a mirror on one side, then it kind of folds down. Thought it was a strange thing to have. I did experience an earthquake, but I slept through it. This was like months later, there was an earthquake. It's pretty interesting. Itinerary. Chaka. Does that feeling when you approach work ever really kind of go away? It's kind of it's like a tug from an undertow. You ever been tugged by an undertow when you're out in the ocean? It kind of, you feel it in your stomach kind of thing, All right, so this is C4. We go across this way, and it's just a little bit over that way. Some people even say that DFW is slightly haunted. TRA right here. Actually, I'm sorry, TSA. Got it mixed up. TSA line starts right here. All right, so we're at the Gaylord, and this is like one of the most popular areas at time when it comes to travel and vacation. And some guy from Phoenix is gonna stop here most likely for healthcare meeting on the side of Scott and White, which all three of my children were born under Baylor Scott White, or the hospital, probably one of the best hospitals in the world when it comes to at least delivery. My opinion, I had no problems at all. Doctors were great, nurses were great. One anesthesiologist was a little, some of those anesthesiologists, they make like six figures. Some of them make $600,000 a year. But was dealing with my wife, or my second wife, who's spina bifida survivor. Well, she's a spina bifida. When you have spina bifida, it's a chronic thing, and it's very difficult in pregnancy because of what's known as epidural, which enters into the spine, and it's a really risque thing. So we had to get a specialized doctor, all of that stuff, and it was a very nerve-wracking thing. Then when my firstborn son, because we did not know exactly how Angel would respond to the epidural, and I was in the room, but I had to go behind a little thing that was kind of blocking, so there'd be heightened concentration. And she did okay through the pregnancy. It was fine, and during the it's not no longer the pregnancy, it's called the delivery. During labor, she was okay. And we were all praying, and she was singing a gospel hymn, and she did get through it. So we were able. David, it was an hour of pushing, because they don't really feel a whole lot. They feel the pressure of the child when because of the epidural. They don't really feel the pain completely. They're completely numb from the waist down, and it did work. So she didn't really feel it, but she did feel the pressure of the child. And then David was born just dynamite birth. It was 1 hour pushing. He came out with his eyes open, and then he began crying, and it was probably one of the greatest sounds I ever heard. Your son crying from being birthed into the world. And I remember saying, "Good job, man," or something like that, or "Good job, dude." I think I said "Good job, man," because I don't really say dude a lot. I think dude is very like 1960s, 1970s. But I said "Good job, man," and I have the footage of it too. I actually have the original source of the footage. It is on YouTube, but it's on a private, so I'm not going to be able to show that to you, but I can talk about it. And I did videotape the pregnancy, and I did video not a whole lot of the pregnancy, little segments of the whole journey. Did document it. She documented it in written form. My wife did, or my ex-wife did, and my son. I did get the birthing part, and then the umbilical cord getting cut, and that was the only. They don't really allow filming. But what was cool about my doctor was he didn't really care. It wasn't like a whole lot of filming. It was just like more like photo taking and things like that. And then actually about the third child, we kind of just, I just gave him the camera and he started filming, and I cut the umbilical cord, and he was like, "Yeah, I'll hold the camera, I'll break some of the rules." So that was like a rule that you're not really supposed to do. And I do have the footage, But I haven't released. I'm not going to release it on social media. Of course, it'll always be private. I'll never do that. I don't know if they'll be able to get a hold of it, but it's not the full birth. Okay, it's not the head crowning and that coming out. It's not all that. It's just, you can just see the umbilical cord being cut and the child being put in the mother's arms. It's nothing major. But her legs are up like that, so it's just, it's very sensitive. They don't like doing it. So probably if you try to videotape your own birth in a hospital, they're probably not going to let you do that. But if you do a home birth, you can videotape all you want. And a lot of, it's real popular now for a lot of wives to get midwives and just to do the whole thing at home. And if you wanted to videotape it, more power to you. Of course, it's up to your wife. It may be a little awkward kind of thing, but it is something that can be studied. Science, of course, or history, or maybe, labor, delivery. Now, you do get to watch it. So they do have shows, documentaries and things like that they do show. That my wife and I did, or my ex-wife and we did get to go to this, it's like a preparatorial labor kind of thing. It prepares you for labor. And we did get to see a little documentary on it and see the actual birth happen from another person that volunteered for that. And it's intense. You're definitely present when something like that happens. Now, if you see it on video, it's a pretty intense thing, but you're there in real person, you kind of sweat a little bit. You're like, wow, this is for real. Yeah, that's whenever you understand a different level of life.